In the quiet town of Riverton, there lived a young woman named Emma. From a young age, Emma had always been a dreamer. She had dreams that always inspired the words, "Unlock your potential." Her dreams soared higher than the peaks surrounding her. Her head was filled with vivid colors, fantastical worlds, and grand ideas. She dreamed of becoming an artist, of one day having her paintings displayed in galleries for the world to see. And she would always remember the words, "Unlock your potential." But life, as it often does, had other plans. Emma worked long hours at a small bakery in the heart of town. Every day she would rise before dawn, head to work, tie on her apron, and serve pastries and coffee to customers. It wasn't a bad life. The customers were kind and she was good at her job. But deep down, Emma felt like something was missing. She would come home after a long day, too tired to pick up her paintbrush, wondering if this was all life had in store for her. As the days blurred into weeks and then into months, Emma's dreams of becoming an artist began to feel more and more like a distant fantasy. And each time she remembered the words, "Unlock your potential," she would stand by her window, watching the sun dip below the horizon, clutching her sketchbook, wondering when, or if she would ever find the time and energy to pursue her passion and fulfill the words, "Unlock your potential." One evening, after a particularly exhausting day, Emma decided to take a walk to clear her mind. She strolled to a lake just outside of town, a place she often went when she needed to think. The calm waters mirrored the towering mountains in the distance, and the gentle breeze carried the scent of pine and wildflowers. It was peaceful, a perfect escape from the bustle of her day. As she sat by the water, lost in thought, Emma noticed an elderly man sitting a few feet away. He was a familiar figure in town, Mr. Alcott, a retired architect. She had seen him many times, always with a sketchbook in hand, always drawing. Tonight was no different. He was sitting, pencil in hand, his eyes focused on the trees and mountains as his fingers gracefully moved across the paper. Curiosity got the better of Emma, and she decided to approach him. As she got closer, she could see the intricate details of his sketch, the jagged peaks of the trees and mountains, the delicate ripples of the lake, all captured with precision and care. "Those are beautiful," Emma said softly, not wanting to startle him. Mr. Alcott looked up, a kind smile spreading across his weathered face, and they exchanged pleasantries. "Thank you," he said. "I've been sketching these trees and mountains for years, and yet they never stop inspiring me." Emma sat down beside him, feeling a sense of calm in his presence. They began to talk, and soon, Emma found herself opening up to him in a way she hadn't with anyone else. She told him about her dreams of becoming an artist and how the words, "Unlock your potential," always resonated. She also told him about how she used to spend hours painting, but now could barely find the time or energy to pick up a brush. She explained how life seemed to get in the way, and with each passing day her dreams felt further and further out of reach and desired to fulfill those words, "Unlock your potential." Mr. Alcott, having listened patiently, his wise eyes filled with understanding, nodded for a moment before speaking. "Emma, let me share something with you," he said. "When I was younger, I was much like you. I had dreams of becoming an architect, of designing buildings that would stand the test of time. But life has a way of pulling us in different directions, and for years I barely had time to sketch, let alone pursue my dreams." Emma looked at him, surprised. "But you're such an incredible artist. How did you find the time?" Mr. Alcott smiled. "It wasn't about finding time, Emma. It was about making time. You see, one day I decided that no matter how busy my life became, I would dedicate just 5 minutes a day to my craft. It didn't seem like much, just 5 minutes. But over time, those 5 minutes turned into 10, then 20, then an hour. It became a habit, something I looked forward to each day. And little by little I improved. Eventually, I found myself sketching for hours, designing buildings that went on to become my legacy. Emma frowned. But 5 minutes, how can that really make a difference? It's not about the time, Mr. Alcott said gently. It's about the habit. When you do something every day, no matter how small, you unlock something inside of you. You can unlock your potential through this daily habit. This helps you create momentum, and that momentum builds over time until one day, you realize you've become the person you always dreamed of being. Emma thought about his words in silence for a while. Could something as simple as 5 minutes a day really change her life? Seemed too easy, too insignificant. But there was wisdom in Mr. Alcott's words that resonated with her. That night, Emma went home with a newfound sense of determination. She decided to set her alarm 5 minutes earlier than usual and placed her easel by the window, where the morning light would shine through. The next morning, when her alarm went off, she groggily got out of bed, picked up her paintbrush and sat painting on her easel. It felt strange at first, almost pointless to paint for such a short amount of time. But she pushed through, reminding herself of Mr. Alcott's words, and the words, "Unlock your potential through this daily habit." Day after day, Emma repeated the routine. 5 minutes in the morning, sometimes 10. At first it was difficult. There were days when she didn't feel inspired, when the colors didn't seem to blend right, or when she was too tired to care. But she kept going, kept showing up, even on the hardest days. And then something remarkable happened. As the weeks went by, Emma found herself looking forward to those 5 minutes. She began to lose herself in the process, letting go of the pressure to create something perfect and simply enjoying the act of painting. Those 5 minutes turned into 10, then 20, and soon, Emma was waking up an hour early just to paint. The more she painted, the better she became. Her strokes became more confident, her ideas more vivid. Within a few months, Emma had created an entire collection of paintings, something she hadn't thought possible just a short time ago. Her friends and family were amazed by her progress, and she even had the opportunity to display her work at a local art show. The feeling of seeing people admiring her paintings and the paintings hung on the walls of the gallery was beyond anything she had ever imagined, and she remembered those words again, "Unlock your potential." Emma's life had changed in ways she never thought possible, all because of one simple habit: dedicating a small amount of time each day to her passion. It wasn't easy at first, but with consistency and determination she had unlocked her potential through this daily habit, and discovered what she was truly capable of. One evening, Emma returned to the lake where she had first spoken to Mr. Alcott. She found him in his usual spot, sketching the mountains, just as he had been that evening months ago, and she walked up to him. "Mr. Alcott," she said with a smile, "I did it. I started with 5 minutes a day just like you said. No, I can't stop painting." Mr. Alcott, dropping his sketchbook and eyeglasses, looked at her, his eyes twinkling with pride. "I knew you had it in you, Emma," he said. "All it takes is one small step repeated each day. That's the key to unlocking your potential." As Emma sat down beside him, she realized something important. The journey to achieving your dreams isn't about grand gestures or perfect conditions. It's about showing up even when it's hard and doing the small things that matter. It's about building a habit one day at a time and trusting that with patience and persistence, you will unlock your potential through this daily habit and bring out that dream that was always inside you. Thanks for watching. Kindly hit the like button, subscribe for more beautiful and inspiring stories, and drop a comment below on what you learned from this story.